Okay. All right. All right. So yeah, so just make sure you guys have notes, something to take notes on, all that great stuff. I just wanted to welcome everybody to advanced training. The purpose of advanced training number one is to kind of correct anything that you guys have been doing. Like some of you guys probably have some questions. Some of you guys are still kind of getting like the flow of your presentation. This is kind of like the glue to everything. So we did the initial training, gave you guys everything that you needed to learn. Then I had you guys go out there and do some practice appointments, right? Because that's the best way to learn something is by doing it, right? So by doing it, now you guys actually know what you need to work on a little bit more, and then we're gonna just kind of fine tune everything from here. Now, the also, you guys are exactly where you need to be right now. All right. Some of you guys got off to a really great start. Some of you guys didn't get off to the start that you might have wanted to get off to. It's okay. All right. I don't want anybody freaking out. If you're like, John, I don't think I'm doing well, it's okay. You're exactly where you need to be. Because the other thing I want to remind you guys is I haven't even taught you guys how to sell Cutco yet. Think about it. Training, what did I really teach you? I taught you how to smile, read from a manual, and call me a lot. That's it. I haven't even taught you guys how to sell Cutco yet. So I'm going to teach that today. I'm also going to teach you guys how to get better with like your recommendations and all that really great stuff. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to start off with a little bit of recognition. All right. So we got a lot of first sales in their first weekends, and which is really exciting. So let's see. So like Camille, she got 4 orders her first weekend, so that's super exciting. Daniel, he got his first sale. Elizabeth got 5 orders this weekend, so good job right there. And then we had Linda getting her first 2 sales, and Maya getting her first 2 sales as well. And then Abby, I believe you got your first couple sales, and then Isaac got his first sale as well. So give all yourselves a round of applause. All right. So really great job, especially for not knowing how to sell Cutco. I think that's really impressive. So there's a lot of room to grow from here. Now, if you haven't got your first sale, that's totally okay too, right? Like I can't even count how many times I've had a representative come into advanced training at $0, and then what they learn here at advanced training, they go off and have a really great week, right? Like I know some of you guys are friends with like Michaela. I think I told you a little bit about her story. She came into advanced training not not being anywhere where she wanted to be, and then right after advanced training, that's where she popped. She exploded, and ended up selling like $10,000 in her fast start contest. I remember this kid Jay Cepeda didn't sell anything, came into advanced training right after he had a $10,000 week. All right, so it happens all the time. So it's not about how you start. I want you guys to write this down. You'll hear me say this a lot. It's never how you start something. It's all about how you finish. All right. And champions finish strong. Those of you guys that are athletes, you might get this a little bit more, right? Like you can start a game super great and then lose the game, right? It happens all the time. So it's not about how you start, it's all about how you finish. And champions, we always finish strong. So that's kind of how I like to model things after. All right, cool. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick with you guys. All right, so welcome to advanced training number one. Something I wanted to throw out there. This is an open invite for everybody on here. This is actually an invitation from our division manager. So Evan Keller, that's my boss. He runs the South Coast division, and he actually is inviting everybody to an alliance information session, and like kind of like a little corral. And basically, he's going to give some information on like how to kick off the new year the right way. And it's an open invitation. I don't. He's going to be talking about a lot of stuff, right? He's going to be talking about a lot of stuff. It's just like a quick little meeting, and to help people that are really serious about like hitting 10K. You should definitely be there. He's going to be talking about like how to go big and how to hit the Cabo trip and all that really exciting stuff. And he's also going to mention a little bit of the steps of advancement. I know you guys have only been working here for like 3 days, but it's always good to know what's out there for you, right? It's always good to know what's out there. Like I remember when I became an assistant manager, that was not my intention at all by this job. My intention was just to save enough money to be able to pay for college. But then my manager was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about being an assistant manager?" I was like, "No, not at all. I don't like working with people." And then he's like, "Well, I'm going to invite you to this meeting. Come to it. You'll learn." And then after I learned about like what it can do and what it could do for my resume, I was like, "You know what? That actually does sound a little interesting." And 9 years later, here I am. All right. Let's see. Okay. So during the alliance, you're going to be exposed to high level coaching, positive pressure, increasing your circle of influence, like the people that you actually spend some time with. Your circle is really important. And then also like talking about some like income opportunities. And it's just like an isolated period of time where you get a chance to expand your capacity. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to do some quick admin stuff. So kind of just some paycheck stuff. So everyone like gets like paid properly and all that great stuff. Then we're going to go over the 5 keys to getting recommendations, 5 keys to closing a sale. We're going to go over some scheduling and some goal things. And then we're going to talk about expanding your practice list, creating an attack list, all that great stuff. And then I have a cool little contest for you guys, an update on the contest announcement. And we're going to do, then we're going to go into a phone jam to focus on setting up your first full week the proper way. All right. Now, many of you guys like have been recommending friends, and that's really exciting. Like I know we got some of like Elizabeth's friends scheduled for interviews yesterday. I think Maya, you got a couple friends that were scheduled for interviews, and then I think that some other people, you guys are gonna be, your phones might blow up like as we go throughout training today. Just turn your phone on like silent and vibrate. When we send out the text message, it does go out like all at once. So like your phone might blow up for like a quick second of just people asking like, "Hey, is this real? Is this legit? What is this about?" Just say, "Hey, go check it out. Ask my manager all your questions," but respond after advanced training. All right. Now, first, let me talk about like paychecks and direct deposit. So has everybody raised, give me a thumbs up if you have set up your direct deposit. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you haven't, more than likely your first paycheck is going to get mailed to you. Okay, so your first paycheck is going to get mailed to you, and we when we mail it, it takes a few extra days, obviously, like compared to direct deposit. But please set up your direct deposit ASAP. If you don't know how to do that, just reach out to me or your coach, and we'll help you get that set up. You can set it up on your Vector Connect. Now your paycheck for this week, your first weekend, everything that you did from Saturday through Monday is all going to be on your first paycheck. Okay, and that's going to actually come a little bit earlier this week. Not on Friday. It's going to come a little bit earlier. I think on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, just because of the holiday, because of Christmas. So you don't have to wait as long. But usually you get paid every Friday through direct deposit. Now, with paychecks, like if it's getting mailed to you, usually you're going to receive that on the following Monday or Tuesday of the next week. Now, it's important to make sure you guys enter in all your orders while you're on the appointment, right? So like, don't tell your coach that you sold something if you haven't like put it in yet. It's like, it doesn't count if unless it's like inputted in and all that stuff like that. And that's important just because how we calculate your paychecks. So we just want to make sure everything runs smooth. Now, to access your direct deposit, to set that up, just go to vectorconnect.com. You're going to go to my account, and then you're going to click direct deposit, and then you can set that up. And then if you want to change it ever, like in the future, you're like, "Oh, I got a different bank now, I want to adjust it." You do the same thing. Okay. Now, if your paycheck is ever incorrect, always double check to make sure all your orders processed and they all went through. Usually when you log into your Vector Connect, you'll see a red bar if you have a problem order. What a problem order is like maybe it's like the address didn't match up with the credit card, or we just need to adjust something. So usually it's a quick fix. The company usually handles it and they try to fix it on Monday. But if you still see it's like Tuesday and it hasn't been fixed yet, reach out to me and I'll help you guys fix that. I usually double check as well just to make sure everything goes through smoothly. Now, remember to give your customers the base pay link. Okay, so this is important. The base pay link. Let me type it in the chat box again. But again, the base pay link is erverify.online. So after every appointment, make sure you text this link to your customers and just ask them to fill it out really quick. It takes like 1 or 2 minutes for them to do it. This is how we make sure all your appointments are qualified and they're good to go. Okay, so they answer a few questions, and you want to make sure that they do that properly. All right, now do not try to cheat the system, because what that will result into is you losing the base pay privilege. All right, so if you guys can imagine, there's always somebody that tries to ruin it for everybody else. All right, so like the system picks up any like fraudulent activity and stuff like that. So just make sure you guys are sending that to the customer and the customers are filling it out. You don't fill it out for your customers, all right? Because if you fill it out for the customers, then it's going to get all messed up in the system. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, so just make sure the customers do it right when they're on the spot. 1 second. Okay, cool. All right, so now Q. All right, every Tuesday, can everybody just set like a little like reminder in your phone every Tuesday to update your queue? So we call this your power hour. So if you go into your queue, you'll see like the button in your home screen where it says set goals. You'll see that if you haven't set up your goals, I believe, or if you need to adjust them, you can do it as well. So you always want to take this time every week to just do your power hour. So what that looks like is like setting up your demo goals for the week. All right, uploading any contacts that like any new like recommendations that you got. You want to get those all uploaded into Q. And the best way to do it is just always add those recommendations after your appointment. So that way you don't have to like spend a whole hour uploading contacts. But it's good to have everything just in one place. So this way you're organized, and when you are ready to work, you can just pick up your phone, go to Q, start doing your phone jam. All right. So make sure all your contacts are uploaded. And then also the mission is to get to mission 100, where you have 100 names and numbers that you could call at any given point. All right. I know I've heard some great things. Like some of you guys have gotten lots of recommendations. I think like Maya has like over 30 or something like that from what I heard. So like that's super exciting. So we want to get to mission 100. And then once you hit mission 100, then focus on your next 100, like getting to mission 200. Like Jacob Hall, one of our coaches, like I think he has like 200 or 300 contacts just on his queue that are ready. So so he always has some people that he can call. All right, so here's what it looks like. So you hit that set goals right there and all that great stuff. Most of you guys have been doing a really great job with communication. All right, so communication is key. All right, one of the main reasons a representative does really well with our company is just because they're great communicators. When you look at all my assistant managers, they're some of the best communicators on the team, and that's a big reason why they got promoted to becoming an assistant manager. So it's always great hearing from you guys. I just kind of want to remind you guys like how that works or how that rolls. The first thing with communication is you definitely want to check in with your coach before your first appointment of the day. Whether that's a quick call like, hey, John, I just want to let you know I have 3 appointments today with blah, 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 blah. Or it's like a quick text or voice memo on WhatsApp. Just let them know like, hey, I'm about to get rolling with my appointments for the day. Because it's just good sometimes just to hear your coach's voice. Maybe they'll give you some encouragement, some feedback, just make you feel good, right? So from there, you should be checking in on every appointment after you call the homemaker set. All right. Now, when you're like with like close family and friends, I want to let me know that. So this way I can introduce myself, or your coach can introduce yourself to them. Like I met both of Isaac's grandmas last night. So that was super cool. So that way I can kind of like build you guys up, right? Like I think I made Isaac sound awesome. Like, yeah, Isaac was a pleasure to have in training. He's super cool, and go hard on him, right? Like ask him a lot of questions so that way he can learn this stuff. And don't forget to call me for the family and friends specials. I think some of you guys like had some family like, hey, don't forget to tell your manager about the family and friends specials, right? So that's why I do it. It just kind of makes your customers feel a little bit more comfortable, and it also makes like your family members feel like more comfortable with you just doing the job when they get a chance to meet your manager, hear voice, and I leave it open for them, like if they have any questions. So I'm here to support you guys. I want to make sure everybody gets everything that they need. And I just want to see everyone just crush it and do well and have fun with it. So just make sure we're communicating. And then check in with your coach before 12 on the days that you're working. Okay. So this is another reason why putting your goals in the queue is important. So this way I know what days you plan on working and then what days you don't. So if I see zeros on a day, I assume that you don't plan on working that day. All right. But if I see like you have the goal to do 2 to 3 appointments on Tuesday and I haven't heard from you, that means I have to call you. All right. But like you don't want your manager to call you before you call them. So just check in with them, whether it's a text, voice memo, or a phone call just before 12 o'clock. Just have some type of contact with your coach or your manager. And I know this is a lot of communication. It's just mainly for your fast start contest. All right. After your fast start's over, you'll meet one-on-one with your coach. And then we're going to talk about some new communication guidelines. All right. So then it won't be like where you need to talk to us as much, but you guys are brand new, right? You still don't know 100% what you're doing, right? Like, so we want to just make sure we're involved during this learning process, because this is the important time to create the right habits. All right, now key staff. So this is something to keep your guys' eyes on, right? Like I think of like Abby, like I think you're approaching like $2,000 in sales, or getting a little bit closer. You're on track. Um, Key staff is where you want your focus to be next. All right, this is like the first advancement opportunity within our office, and this is where we choose our leadership academy people. And we this is where we help you guys increase your career sales, big income opportunity. We do a key staff meeting every other week, so it's bi-weekly on Saturdays, and it's just a hour-long meeting where you're going to learn some extra things from some of the district managers in our division. So it's pretty cool. All right, so let's get into our first teaching topic. Any questions so far on like anything that I just covered right now? Sorry, I'm just kind of rolling. All right, cool. So let's get into the first teaching topic for today, which is recommendations. All right, recommendations. So some of you guys are doing great. So some of you guys are doing great with recommendations. Some of you guys could use some work. All right. And again, I'm always going to be honest with you guys. Right. So it's like, not everyone's going to be perfect at this. I was definitely not I can't talk. I was definitely not perfect at recommendations when I first started. But once I practiced and put in the time and the work to get good at it, it helped me out a ton. All right. Give me 1 second while I open something. All right, I'm going to repost the recommendation script I want you guys using in the WhatsApp chat. So we'll pull that up in 1 second. All right, but first, let me give you the 5 big keys to recommendations. This is the most important part of the job. All right, like Elizabeth, I know you got 5 orders this weekend. Super exciting. Awesome. However, recommendations are more important. Right? I'll always get 10 times more excited when you guys get like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 recommendations versus like you selling the ultimate set, right? Even though like ultimate set, that's a big order, but it's Cutco. Like, of course they're going to get the biggest one, right? Like people love this stuff. They buy it all the time. All right. Recommendations. This is where you can really build and expand. So the first key for recommendations is follow the approach word for word. All right. Follow the approach word for word. So you guys heard me at the like end of training like the other day. I just did it off of memory, right? And I haven't done a demo in like 4 years, but I still have this thing word for word perfect because it was an essential part of my business. It was essential, right? Now the reason why I want you guys to get this word for word, it's not because I'm being nitpicky or anything like that. It's because I want you guys to have confidence. Does anybody remember doing class presentations when you were younger? Right? Like sometimes like some of you guys might be natural born public speakers. I definitely wasn't. And I remember there's presentations I did where I was prepared, right? Like I did all my studying, I did all the reading. My project was done like 2 days earlier and I just got to practice. And when I went up there, I had a lot of confidence and I presented it well and I got an A. But there was many times where I forgot about the project and threw it together the night before and went up there and looked like an idiot, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is the volcano. Where's your volcano from? America, right? So that's just kind of like the preparation, right? Preparation is key. So you want to prepare like a professional, and you want to appear like you know what you're doing. So when you know what you're talking about, you come across more confident. The second thing is, I want you guys to focus on the sponsorships, the textbook scholarship. All right. So it's easier when customers know there's like a target to get to. Right. If you just say, hey, give me as many as you can, and they're gonna give you 2 or 3, which is cool. We appreciate that. But like your customer really thinks they're helping you out by giving you those 2 or 3. Right. But it's like they're really helping you out when they get to like 5, 10, 15. Right. The more the merrier. Right. Like you want to be averaging at least 5 per appointment, 10 or more on a higher averages. All right. And when you guys get this textbook scholarship, right? Like I know I say it's for textbooks, but honestly, we're gonna give you just some cash. Right. And it's gonna be like you can use it towards anything. All right. So what we're looking for is you getting to 50 sponsors. All right, 50 sponsors. So every sponsor is 5. The max you can get is a double sponsor, so that's 10. Now, here's the reason why I want you guys to focus on the sponsorships, right? If you get 50 sponsors, what's 50 times 5? Right? 225, 250, something like that. I'm not a math wizard. I dropped out. I'm sorry. All right. But let's just say, what is that? Who knows that answer? Is it 250? Okay, cool. See, I know a little stuff. All right. So let's say you had 250 new potential customers to focus on. How would that feel? That'd feel good, right? You're like, man, I'm just gonna keep making calls. Like, this is fun. I have an endless supply of people I can show Cutco to. All right. Now let's just say you only did a demo with half of those people, right? You only did a demo with 125 of them. All right. Based off of, and you had the lowest of the low averages. Does anybody want to know how to make 10 grand in income? Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay. Get 50 sponsors. All right. Let's say you did half of those demos. That's 125 demos with a 60% closing ratio. I think it's like 85 sales or 80 sales or something like that. With our average order, it comes out to like $30,000 worth of Cutco sold. That's $10,000 in income in your pocket. So every 50 sponsors equals about 10 G's for your pocket. So now that you know that, don't you think you should take that a little bit more serious? Recommendations, right? It's the key. The third thing is give your customers thought joggers. Give your customers thought joggers. You guys remember the first day of training when I had you guys building your names list, right? I was like, take out a sheet of paper. Let's just start writing down people that are over 30. And then as we were doing that exercise, what was I doing with you guys? I was giving you guys thought joggers, right? I was like, think of like your grandparents, your step family, your godparents, your best friend, so on and so forth. And I was doing that throughout the whole exercise. And all of you guys raised your hand and said, you wrote down more names than you thought you were going to write. That's the power of thought joggers. Help your customers through this process. The biggest mistake that reps make is they rush the recommendations part, or they don't give any guidance with it. They're just like, yeah, just go ahead and fill out that sheet. All right. And that is just so passive. So like you want to have control. If it's the most important part, you want to be able to like control it a little bit. So give thought joggers. Here's how to average 10 every single time. All right. So here's the thought joggers that I use. Now, when you're giving these thought joggers, use small fractions of the numbers, right? So like use small numbers. So like Linda, if I was like, hey, can you think of 2 or 3 friends real quick off the top of your head? Go. Could you do it? Yeah, that's easy. But if I was like, Linda, can you write down all of your friends? Or could you write down 30 friends right now? Go. Instantly, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed. And you're going to be like, I don't know 30 people. Even though you do, clearly you do. But your initial thought is like, I don't know that many people. So I'm not going to do anything. Does that make sense? Right? But when I'm like Stephanie, think of 2 friends real quick. You're like, oh, I got 2 friends, Susie and Becky. Perfect. Let's write them down. Right? So it makes it easier. So I'm like, Mr. Jones, can we jot down 3 of your friends, 3 of your closest friends, your top 3? Go. Hey, what about 3 family members? Boom, we're already at 6. Hey, what about 1 of your neighbors? Can everybody think of 1 neighbor throughout your lifetime? Yeah, 1 of your neighbors. Hey, what about 2 or 3 coworkers? Let's say they give you 3, right? So we're already at 6, 9. Hey, what about 1 of your kids' friends' parents? Right? So if Mrs. Jones has lots of kids, she's like, oh, I got all their friends' parents. I'm going to get all their kids back, all their parents back, right? And make it fun as you're going throughout this, right? I'm like if a customer's stumped, I'm like, I don't really know anybody. Who's the person in your family that annoys you the most, Mrs. Jones? All right, go ahead and write them down. Who's the neighbor that you cannot stand, right? And I kind of make it fun. Or if they're like, oh, all my friends are mean. Perfect. Let's start with the meanest one. Side little story. I did that with a customer once. And she was like, oh, this lady is evil. She's going to hate you, John. Like, it's not going to go well. I wouldn't call her if I was you. Guess who the first person I called? That lady. Guess who the biggest order of my career is, still to this day? The meanest person in the world. So you got to remember, you're a whole new person. I don't know what that lady's relationship was with that lady, right? Maybe that other lady just didn't like her, but this lady was the sweetest lady. And she bought everything in the book. I kid you not. Like, she just bought 1 of everything. It was like an $8,000 order. So that's why it's like, don't listen to your customers. Just try to get as many recommendations, because your customers, they don't know, right? Like some of you guys, did anybody have a customer that say like, oh, none of my friends cook, or I don't think this lady would be a good person? Yeah, that's prejudging. You remember my number 1 rule: never prejudge a customer. You'll be surprised. All right, the 4th thing is you got to handle the common customer questions. You got to handle the common customer questions. So customers pretty much ask the same questions. It doesn't really change, especially out of like my years of working here. It's the same thing. So you want to handle their objections before they even come up, or if they do come up, you just want to be prepared, right? So when someone says, I don't know anybody, did anybody get that, by the way, this weekend? Did anyone get someone that was like, I don't really know anybody? Okay, cool. If you didn't, awesome. But you will get that one, right? So when someone says, I don't know anybody, you got to learn how to dissect it. What are they really saying? Do you think people don't know anybody? No, right? So what are they really saying? What they're really saying is, I don't know anybody that wants to buy knives, Abby. I don't know anyone that wants to buy knives. I'm just curious, like, do any of you guys know anyone that wants to buy knives? I've never met anybody, by the way, that wants to buy knives. Like, is that your first conversation when you go to school, Maya? You're like, hey, you want to know what I want to do today, guys? I want to go buy some knives. Yeah, that's nobody's conversation. No one's going to bed thinking like, man, I can't wait until I wake up tomorrow to look at knives. Right? So when they say I don't know anyone, they're just saying I don't know anyone that wants to buy knives. So I want to address that. Like, you want to remind them, hey, Mrs. Jones, I'm not looking for anyone that wants to buy. I'm just looking for nice people to take a look. Right? And that's just a line out of your recommendation script. That's why it's important to get it memorized, so you can pull pieces when you need it. Hey, I'm not looking for anyone that wants to buy, just nice people to take a look. I'm not looking for buyers, I'm looking for lookers. Right? Because do nice people buy Cutco? Yeah. Guess who buys Cutco? Human beings that need to take big chunks of food and cut them into smaller pieces and eat. That's who buys Cutco. And I think that's most of the world. except for those people that are on air diets or whatever. All right. So pretty much everybody is a potential customer. We just don't know. Your customers don't know. So we just want them to just recommend. All right. And then let their friends will decide if they want it or not. Let's say someone's like, hey, I don't feel comfortable giving out names and numbers. So what that is a lack of trust. So where you can dissect that back into. So this is why I always say communicate with me. So, because I can help you guys dissect every inch of this. All right. So that comes down to rapport building in the beginning. Like if you start your demo too fast, you don't spend time connecting and building rapport, even with family and friends, right? I know they're like supposed to love you, but like they love you, but they might not trust giving all their friends names and numbers to you. That's important to build that relationship, build rapport, connect. And then at the end, if they're like, I don't really feel comfortable giving out names and numbers, I'm just like, hey, Aunt Susie, I totally understand if it was anybody else but me. Right? I totally understand if it was anybody else but me, but I'm your greatest nephew. Right? And even when you're with like a customer that doesn't know you, you're like, I totally understand if it was anyone else but me, but I'm just going to do exactly what I just did with you today. How'd you like my demo? Was it good? Okay, cool. Did you have fun? Sweet. Did I pressure you? Awesome. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just trying to pay for college, and I get paid for each appointment. So who are the nicest people you could think of? Let's start off with your family. Think of 2 to 3 people in your family that would be cool about it. Hey, what about your closest friends? And you see how I came back to the thought joggers? All right. So that's just kind of how you handle that one. All right. And then they think about it. They're like, oh yeah, John was super awesome. Stephanie was super sweet today. I like you, Stephanie, right? And then they're gonna be like, I remember she was sharing her goals that she wants to pay for college and all that stuff. I want to help Stephanie. Okay, here, I'll give you everybody. What's another one that you could potentially get? I don't know anybody. I don't feel comfortable giving out names. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. That is the most devastating one. You want to try to avoid that one. All right. So the reason why, right? When people say that they'll do it later, do you think they have good intentions on saying that? Yeah. No, they do. They do. Most people think they're going to do it later. Like, have you guys ever told your parents you're going to do something later and just totally forgot about it? You meant like you were going to do it, but you just got sidetracked and it just never got done. And you're like, dang it, I was going to do it, right? It wasn't like, I'm not going to do this because I hate you, mom. No, that's not your intention, right? And you got to think about our target market. There's soccer moms and dads that have kids, they have careers, so they always have something going on, right? There's a lot of things on their plate. So if they don't do it now, the likelihood of them getting to it later is slim. I'm not saying no one's going to do it, but it's just very slim. So I would rather get a very few amount of recommendations today versus a promise for later. Does that make sense? Rather get something today versus a promise for later. So the reason why people say they'll do it later is you gave them intentions that the demo was done. I don't give anyone intentions that the appointment is done until like after recommendation. So like when I'm putting in their order, I'm just like, hey, Mrs. Jones, so there's gonna be one more thing after this, and then we'll start to wrap it up. All right. So you put in their order, and then you're like, all right, cool. Your order's all done. Sweet. Now, thank you, Mrs. Jones. There's one more very important part. Here's where you can really help me out the most because I get paid every time I show Cutco, and I can only show it to people I've been personally recommended to. And then you go into the script and so yada yada. All right. And then after this, Mrs. Jones, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Right. Like just let them know like there's one more thing after this and then we'll wrap it up. So you don't want to, you tell them like, all right, we're all done. And then, oh, wait. Sorry, I almost forgot one more thing. Can I ask for recommendations? They're gonna be like, oh, I actually got to go. I don't have enough time. But if you let them know, if you don't give that intention, then you don't deal with that objection. Okay. And then just ask twice. Just ask twice. One skill set that you guys are going to learn is how to get a lot of free stuff from doing this job. All right. And usually, here's all you have to do is just ask twice. Most people don't ask twice. right? I made a pretty large purchase. I think I told you guys about this in training, right? And a big thing that helped was honesty. And I was like, hey, like, imagine if I was like one of your family members. Do you think you could do a little bit of a better deal on this? And then when you put it in that perspective, they're like, oh, okay. Or once me and somebody in the office we're getting slushies. I was like, hey, is there any way I can get a free slushie? And the person was like, nah, we can't give them free slushies. I was like, but what if we were like best friends in the whole wide world? Could you give me one? They're like, well, yeah. So can I get a free slushie, please? We're friends. We go way back, man. And then he's like, that was good. All right, I'll give you one. Right, like most of the time, you just gotta ask twice, right? Like I went to a bank to break down a $100 bill. The lady was like, sorry, you don't bank with us. We don't do that. And I was like, well, please, can you? Just this one time? She's like, okay, fine. Most of the time, you just gotta ask twice. Most people would just like leave or just take the no. Just ask twice. All right. So if customer says, I don't know anybody. Okay, no worries, Ms. Jones. And you notice on every one of those objections, I followed up with another question. Like, hey, do you think you could just start off with like 2 to 3 that you feel the most comfortable with? Or that you think would be nice enough to do it? So just ask twice. All right. The fifth thing is our peeler program. All right. So peeler incentive program. So don't you guys, people love free stuff. Have you ever been to like a sporting event or a concert where they're throwing things into the crowd? You don't even know what it is half the time, but you know you want it, right? How do people react? I've been to a baseball game. I saw like like one of the balls comes towards your section, and I saw like grown men pushing little kids out the way to get this baseball. Costco. I love samples. I love them. I get pushed around by these this old man took the last bagel bite. He cut me off, got it before me. People will do anything for free stuff. Okay. So here's a little incentive to kind of help you get some more recommendations. So no matter how many your customers give you, always say thank you, right? If they gave you 2, if they gave you 3, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This helps me out a ton. Now, Mrs. Jones. So here's how you bypass all this stuff I just told you. All these little tips right there. Offer something for free if they get to 15. So Mrs. Jones, when you get to 5, you become a sponsor. When you get to 10, you become a double sponsor. Now, when you get to 15, I'm actually going to throw in a free peeler for you. Actually, I don't even say free peeler. I say a free piece of Cutco. Because now they just went through the whole demo. You built up value, educated them on Cutco, so they know the value of Cutco. They know Cutco isn't cheap. And you just said free. So how do you think the customer is going to react most times? They're like, free Cutco? Okay, what is it? All right, Ms. Jones, when you get the 5, become a sponsor. You get the 10, you become a double sponsor. Now, when you get the 15, I'm actually going to buy you a free piece of Cutco, and it's our veggie peeler. Our veggie peeler is legendary. Here's a little fact about our veggie peeler. It's like one of the most anticipated Cutco products to be released because we only specialize in knives for a really long time, and customers are always like, hey, it would be awesome if you guys made a peeler that I never have to replace. And then when we released this veggie peeler, we sold $1.6 million worth of peelers in its first like 3 months. So people love our veggie peeler. It's the last peeler you ever have to buy. Think about how many times you've used a sucky peeler, right? So you're Miss Jones, I'm going to give you this veggie peeler for free today. It's like $45 normally. I'm going to go ahead and buy that for you. And then guess what your customers react? They're like, okay, cool. Here, I got my contacts ready. Let's just go. I got a bunch of names for you. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Because how many contacts do people really have in their phone? Anywhere from 30 on the low end all the way to like 200. So do you think like 10 to 15 is a big deal? No. Right? So they just start going. They're like, all right, did I get to the 15? How many more do I got? Okay, perfect. Boom, 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 boom. And guess what? They forget about their objections. They don't even give you any objections because they're trying to get this free piece of Cutco. And if a customer gets close, like let's say they're at 12, I don't give it to them. I don't cave in. Right? I'm like, oh, Mrs. Jones, you're at 12. Can you think of 3 more? They're like, that's all I got. I'm like, are you sure, Mrs. Jones? Because I would hate, and I usually like find somebody on their list. I would hate to have to give Susie this veggie peeler. Like, what if Susie gets 15? And they're gonna be like, no, you're right. And sometimes, like, I've seen customers go crazy, right? Like, where they're like, they start yelling at their husband, Jerry, get your phone. I need more. He's gonna give me free Cutco. Do you want to buy more Cutco? Because I want this peeler. Right? And the husband's like involved. I've seen them yell at their kids, Jerry, get your friend's mom's number, right? And make it fun, right? Like, Miss Jones, you're almost there. Like, I want to give you this. All right, cool. And then you can, so here's how you guys can do the free peeler. When the customer spends $100 or more, you could put the free peeler onto their order. All right, now that's obviously like if we haven't already gave like the discount or anything like that, you could do it like that. Like if they're just buying $100 straight up worth of stuff, we can add it onto the order. Or you guys can buy peelers from me at a discount. Okay, you guys can buy peelers from me at a discounted rate. So we have a partnership with the company because the company knows how valuable recommendations are. So they actually let me buy peelers from them to sell to you guys at a discounted rate. So you guys can get veggie peelers for $7 a peeler. And then you guys can, I'll ship it to you or I can ship it straight to the customer. It just kind of depends on like my week. Like if I'm like crazy busy, and then we'll just ship it out and get it to the customers that way. Okay. Now think about it like this, $7. Do you think that's worth 15 or more recommendations? Yeah. Right. Because think about it. How many appointments do you need to do to make that $7 back? Yeah, just one, Isaac. Right. You only need to do one, right? Because you get $20 for each appointment. So you make your money back right away. Right. So it's a profitable investment. Right. And yeah, so like most people usually buy like 3 peelers at a time because I do like a little bundle deal. So you get 3 for 20 versus paying that $21. So that's the veggie peeler. Okay. But you can also add it onto your order when it's a larger sized order. All right. Did those tips help a little bit for anybody? Okay, cool. So those are the 5 big keys for recommendations. All right. Now, if you guys can go ahead and pull up your recommendations approach. The one that I shared with you guys in WhatsApp. And then go down to the text heads up. So the text heads up. So you want to let your customers know this after you get the recommendations. Just let them know like, hey, Mrs. Jones, it's a lot easier when people know that I'm calling. Can you please just text them a heads up to let them know? And then you're going to forward this message below to them. So you can just copy and paste it. A lot of my reps, they just kind of have an ongoing note of like things they can just copy and paste for like appointments and stuff like that and for customers. So you can just copy and paste that, plug in their name. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to the online Facebook approach. So here's just a little extra juice. So Facebook, I understand, is kind of outdated for the younger generation, right? Like I understand most of you guys are probably not checking your Facebook every day. Right? Most of you guys probably have one, but probably never use it, right? Like I kind of have my Facebook for my family, all that stuff. I get it. However, Facebook, don't use it for you. Use it for your customers because guess where all your parents are at? They're on Facebook. Like my mom is like the queen of Facebook. I wish I had the type of engagement my mom has. Like she throws up a post and she gets like 30 comments and like 50 likes. I'm like, what the heck? And that's where our parents are. That's where our target market is. So you should have a Facebook or create a Facebook at least just for this. because it's gonna pay off dividends. So I'm gonna go over the Facebook approach with you guys. Give me 1 second. So I'm gonna go over the Facebook approach with you guys. Just go ahead and follow along. So this is after asking for recommendations. So Mrs. Jones, I found that a lot of people have more friends on Facebook than in their phones. So I'm actually trying to work on my social media marketing and advertising too. So I would love it, or I would love if you wouldn't mind putting a post up for me, introducing me to some of your Facebook friends. I'll send you a template of what you would post, and I'll send you a photo of me. So all you will have to do is just post a photo and a template as an introduction of me, and it will say if anyone is willing to help me out, or they can comment below, like or comment below. Would you be nice enough to put this post up? It would really mean the world to me. Great. I'm going to send you a friend request now, and then I'm going to send you the template of the photo. And you can also tag me with the @ symbol since we're friends now. Hey, by the way, if there's a time where I'm able to, would it be okay if I sent a message to some of your friends that including myself, or introducing myself to them? Is that cool? So that's where you ask permission from it. Most people actually are like, yeah, totally, right? Because they're gonna love you after the presentation. There's very few people that like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, no worries. All right, so now let's scroll down to where it says Facebook post customer shares. So this is the one that they're gonna share. So you just copy and paste this, plug in your information, and send it to them through Messenger. So who can help out? Jessica is working really hard towards a scholarship, and every appointment she makes helps her towards her goal. It's a simple presentation over the computer for Cutco. The great thing is that you're under no obligation to purchase anything, and it helps her either way, and it's quite fun. If you think that you might be able to help her out, please comment below or like this post or message her directly at Jessica so she can contact you. Thank you for reading this and for your help. She insists on making her own money for college and not borrowing it from her parents. She is one of our desperately needed entrepreneurs. Please make sure to reach out and help this hardworking student. And she's a sweetheart, by the way. All right. And obviously you'd update that. Like, Isaac, I don't want you to put like, she's a sweetheart, right? Like, you can update that for you. Okay. So your customer posts that. Now, here's what happens. There's this crazy spiral effect that happens. So you send a picture. So this is like Jeremy Blau, our division office manager. So this is his customer, Holly. She did like this little post. And then look at that, 26 comments, 1 share. And look at all these people that just respond in the comments. Facebook equals Mac City. All right. And those of you guys that know Michaela, I believe during her Fast Start contest, she sold 3 homemaker sets just like off of 1 Facebook post. It's pretty fired up, right? So that's why you want to post it, right? And it's in like your most charming picture of you, right? If you don't have a charming picture, maybe like a graduation picture, like something where you look like sweet and innocent, not where you're like partying with the middle finger, right? Obviously. Right. So send a nice photo. So it's a proven fact, by the way, like with the algorithm on Facebook, if you attach a photo with your post, you get more engagement. Okay. So yeah. So then here's the message that you would send them, and you just copy and paste this on Facebook. Hey David, this is Amanda. I am Solomon's daughter, and I'm attending Pasco Hernando State College as a pre-med student. The company I'm working for offers a scholarship to help me pay for school. My assignment is to set up an appointment with people to show the product and get their opinion on it. The product is called Cutco. You don't have to get anything. I get paid just to show it. And right now I'm in a contest where if I can hit my appointment goal each week, I'll be able to cover my entire fall semester of expenses. And the appointment is fun, easy, fast, takes less than an hour, and it's over the computer. Is there any way possible you'd be available anytime in this next week? It would really help me out. I look forward to hearing back from you. So you send that message to everybody that commented, everybody that liked it. All right, but let's look at some of these comments. Right, I've had my Cutco since I was 19. We won't talk about how many years or decades that has been. I love my Cutco knives and have also had them for a few decades. We have them too. So like, it's just all these like customer feedback. A lot of these people will message you like, hey, I need a few table knives. I lost some from my set, or I need to replace a couple things. You'll scoop up some easy orders, but there's always going to be like that one person that comments and like, what is Cutco? And then you'll see people just rip them to shreds in the comment like, what? You don't have Cutco? Have you been hiding under a rock? They're the best knives ever. And they basically will just sell it for you in the comments. All right. That's the power of social media. All right. So make sure you guys do this. At least ask your customers to do it. And then for those of you guys that are just learning about this, all your appointments that you've already completed so far, just reach out to them, because it's like most of it was like with your aunts, grandmas, moms, all that stuff, and see if they can throw up a Facebook post for you. Cool. All right. So that's the Facebook. That's the Facebook magic right there. All right, go ahead and write this down in your notes. 10, 80, 10. 10, 80, 10. So this is the 10, 80, 10 rule for sales. So I gave you guys the 10, 80, 10 rule for like managing your emotions and training. Now let's talk about the sales part of this. So I want to remind all of you guys, 10% of your customers never buy. All right, 10% of the people that you show Cutco to are not going to buy Cutco, Abby. I don't know why. It's just 10% of the people out there. We could send our best representative in our office to that person. They're not going to buy. And 10%, is that a big or a small number? It's tiny, right? It's a small number. And do we want to focus on those little numbers? No, right? Focus on like the bigger ones. So those 10%, it's going to happen. You're going to get no sales. You just want to keep moving on, which is another big reason why I say like do a lot of appointments. So that way your true numbers and averages can average out. The more appointments you do, the more you'll be able to fit into all the numbers. Like if you've only done 3 appointments and 2 people haven't bought, of course you're going to feel like, oh, nobody buys Cutco. You've only done 3 appointments, right? But if you did 10 appointments and 2 people didn't buy, do you think you're going to be thinking about those 2 people that didn't buy? No. All right. Now, 10% of your customers always buy. 10% of your customers always buy. So Linda, you're going to run into some Cutco fanatics while you're working here. Like you're going to run into like somebody that's going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for a Cutco rep. I already know what I want. I want a homemaker +8. And you're going to be like, wow, that was the easiest $100, $200 I made in an hour ever. All right. Now, 10%, still a small number. All right. So that's not going to happen every day. If you do a lot of appointments, eventually you're going to find somebody, you're going to get lucky. I always say the harder you work, the luckier you get. Have you ever heard that phrase where like the rich get richer? It's just kind of like this compound effects of like all their hard work, and then things just start kind of coming your way. But I don't believe in luck. I just think it's just like you kind of set yourself up to be in the right position at the right time. So work hard, and you're going to get some lucky orders. Like I'm pretty sure Isaac's going to sell an ultimate set. He's not even going to know how it happened. He's just going to like my first ultimate set I sold. It was luck. Like it was totally just right time, right place. Like I just did the appointment, and I didn't even really do the appointment. Like I started, and the guy was like, "Give me the biggest thing you got." And I'm like, "Yeah, let me finish the appointment." So he's like, "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I hear Cutco's great. It's the best, right? You said it's the best. All right, give me the biggest one you got." I was like, "Sir, it's like 3,000." He's like, "I don't want to know the price. Just give me the biggest one." I was like, "Okay." All right. And he's happy. All right. So sometimes those happen. I don't know how to explain them. It just happens. All right. But do I want you guys just waiting around to find that customer? Well, I'm just going to wait here until I get lucky. No. All right. So just make sure like these ones, I don't even want you guys focus on that little 10% right there. I want you guys to focus here, the 80%. 80% of your customers, the sale depends on you. So since that has the largest effect, that's what you want to focus on. So that's why you guys are here right now, right? Getting your advanced training, getting a little bit better, right? You guys are getting like one step a little bit better. So 80% depends on you. And what I mean by depending on you, the extra work that you put in. right? I know there's some of you guys that actually practiced your manual and like went through the presentation before you guys did your first appointments. Some of you guys haven't looked at anything. You just like kind of go into your appointments blind, right? I know that. I can tell just from like talking to you or your results. I can kind of see like who's putting in a little bit of extra work. All right. So that's where that 80% kind of comes into play, right? Are you following the manual word for word? Are you calling in, getting coaching? Are you showing up to all your trainings? All that stuff kind of goes into that 80% because that's what you can control. So the target closing percentage, if you look at this, if 80% depends on you and 10% always buy, the target closing percentage to get you to is 90% closing. So where you sell 9 out of 10 times. And yes, that's a high closing percentage. That is high. Like if you take that, if you tell people you have a 90% closing percentage in any other business, they're going to be like, no way. Because in most businesses, having a 30-40% closing percentage, that's super exciting. But most companies don't get the opportunity to work with the best product in the history of the planet. Cutco, you buy it once, you use it every single day, and you never have to replace it. Isn't that awesome? Buy once, use every day, never have to replace. So when we work with such an elite product, it's like customers buy it, right? Most of the time, people buy Cutco. All right. So that's what I want you guys to get to. And we have people in our office that have a 90% closing ratio, like Daniel Reeder. He's our number one rep on the team. He has a 90% closing ratio. Eddie Sehat, he has about a 85-90% closing ratio. Right? We have guys like Austin Robinson, Kalen Garcia. They have about like an 80% closing ratio. Right? AJ, he has a 75% closing ratio. All right. So we have a lot of people with like most of the time they do their appointments, they know they're going to sell. So imagine what your mindset and confidence are going to be like when you go into an appointment, not wondering if you're going to sell something, wondering what you're going to sell. You see that little mindset shift? Because you're like I hope I sell something, or like I don't know, like if I'm going to buy, if they're going to buy anything, versus I can't wait to see what the customers get. Are they going to get a homemaker? Are they going to get an ultimate? I wonder what they're going to get today. Right? You're already expecting it. All right. So that's the goal, is to get you to 90% closing ratio. So here's the 5 big keys to selling on every demo. The first one is you got to keep it super simple. So keep it super simple. And here's how to keep it simple. Follow the manual. Follow the manual. As you work here longer, you're going to start to learn a lot of things. You might talk to Teresa, you might talk to one of your coaches, you might talk to Daniel Reeder, and you're going to hear all this stuff. So if you try to add too much in, it could be overwhelming and confusing for a customer. Just keep it simple. Follow the manual. The second thing is you want to make sure you show the videos and talk during the videos, ask questions, right? Keep that part engaging. Like ask your customers like, oh, how'd you like that video? Hey, what would you use this knife for? Could you see yourself using that tool every day? And then also just building rapport, having some enthusiasm when you're going through that. So show the videos. The third one is have fun. Have fun with it. Like I said, it's not that serious. Like we just sell some knives. Have fun with it. Think about your job. You just hang out with soccer moms all day, showing kitchen products. It's not that hard, all right? So just have some fun with it, like while you're going on. Like when you're following your manual, I want you guys to be yourself. Like if you're funny, go ahead and crack jokes and be funny. If you're not funny, don't try to be funny. All right? So have fun, be yourself, all that great stuff. Because I want to remind you guys, enthusiasm sells. The definition of a sale, if you guys look it up, is the transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. And I already know some of you guys are some of the best sales reps on here. You want to know how I know? Because you have friends, right? Like think about like when you're with your friends, Think about when you're with your friends. Like, I'm sure some of you guys have convinced your friends to go do something that they didn't want to do. Right? You're like, oh, you guys, we should totally go do this. And they're like, no, I'm not doing that. You're like, come on, bro. Come on. Let's do it. Right? And then you end up getting them to do it. All right. So that's what the sell is. You were so excited about doing X, Y, or Z that you got other people to want to do it with you. That is a sell. Transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. The second key to selling on every demo is you got to tie your customers into goals. So that was the reason why I wanted you guys to write down some goals at the beginning of training today. So you want to tie your customers into your goals. Because think about it, Elizabeth, like, can somebody help you accomplish your goal if they don't even know what the goal is? No. So that's why it's important to share what you're trying to achieve. Especially like right now, when you guys are practicing with family and friends, like you should share to them like why you want to sell knives. Right? Would you agree? Like probably some people are like Abby, both Abby's, right? Abby, like, why are you selling knives? Didn't you want to do this? Right? So that's why it's important to share your goals. Like, hey, Mr. Jones, I'm actually working with Cutco because this is my first job ever. And I'm looking to gain some experience and improve my communication skills. So this way I can do X, Y, Z confidently. Hey, I'm working with Cutco because if I sell enough Cutco this year, I can actually win a scholarship that's going to help me pay for some of my college expenses. Right? So you can always tie like why you're selling Cutco to the bigger vision. So tie your customers into your goals. Also explain to them about your fast start contests. So I know there's many of you guys that want to do 10K in your fast start. No matter how your weekend went, that should still be the goal. All right. I've seen so many people go from 0 to 10K like that. All right. Just because they got narrowed focus and they started sharing their goal more. So it's important to share your fast start goal. Like, hey, so I'm working with Cutco because X, Y, and Z. Also, I'm in my fast start contest and it's my first 10 days. And in my first 10 days, I'm actually trying to do something that only 2% of the people do in the company. I'm trying to sell $10,000 worth of Cutco. What that will do is that's going to really make my resume pop, as well as it's going to put me in an elite group within the company. And it's going to open up some doors for me. Plus, if I do that during winter break, I'll have all the money that I need for the spring quarter. Right? So share why you want to hit 10K. Share what the fast start contest is. If you just say, hey, I'm on my fast start contest, I'm trying to sell 10,000, they're going to be like, okay, what does that mean? Right? Because your customers don't know what a fast start is. They don't know what 10,000 means. Right? So you got to express that to them. So you want to learn how to communicate a goal, communicate a vision. So highlight the levels that you're excited about, explain your reasons and motivations, open up the customer's mind. That's why you want to share your goals. It opens their mind a little bit. So it changes it from, all right, I'm not planning on buying knives to, okay, I really like Maya and I want to help Maya any way I can. And it opens up their mind because then now when they see something that they like, they're willing to justify getting that just a little bit more. Does that make sense? Like if you guys like, like when you go to a store, there's some things you want to buy, but you're like, I don't need it right this second. But if there's a way that you can justify why you need it now, guess what you're getting today? You're getting that item. Really cool thing that happened from me from sharing goals when I was a new rep. That really changed my perspectives on this. Was like I was selling Cutco to pay for school, and you never know who you're in front of. You never know. This customers that I was presenting to, they actually gave out scholarships to hardworking students. So by me expressing like, yeah, I'm actually working with Cutco because I want to help out my mom. I don't want her to have to pay for my school. I actually want to pay for my own tuition, yada, yada, yada. And at the end of my appointment, the customers, they bought the homemaker set and they gave me a scholarship for school. They have like a foundation that they do, and they wrote me a check for $1,000. how do you think my mom felt about this job after I was like, hey mom, I got $1,000 for school from a customer? My mom was like, you need to do more demos. Why aren't you doing more demos? Right. But she was super pumped. She was like, wow, that's crazy. And they bought knives from you? I was like, yeah, like this is cool. So open up customers' minds, because you just never know who's down to help you out, or what thing could set somebody off towards helping you out the right way. Also, it helps you with building rapport by sharing your goals, because it lets the customers know what they can relate with you with. Like I remember I was sharing like, hey, I'm actually trying to save up to buy my first car. And that for some reason that was a big connector with a lot of customers. They're like, oh, I remember when I was trying to buy my first car. Right. So now we have a relationship, like we have like something in common. So that makes it easier to talk to. That makes them like you more. Boom. Right. And customers will always talk about like when they bought their first car, they would share with me like, oh yeah, I had this like raggedy car. Like it took 10 minutes to just start it. And we would have some good laughs right there. And then I want you guys to put a star next to this. Be a friend, not a salesperson. Okay, Linda? So be a friend, not a salesperson. That's one things I love about my job is like I've never tried to sell anybody anything. My intention when I do the appointment is to build a new relationship and make a new connection. And then usually by when you go about it in that with that intention, at the end of the demo, usually they're like sometimes like I've had customers ask me like, John, well, what set do you think I should get? I'm like, honestly, for your family, like I think this set would be perfect for you. Like I remember I had a lady, I had a customer that wanted the ultimate set, and I told her not to buy the ultimate set because it didn't make sense for her. Right? That's where you get like selfish. Like you want to be there with good intentions for your customers. They can feel that. So I remember this lady, she was like, yeah, I really want this ultimate set. I love buying the biggest things. And I was like, well, honestly, Mrs. Jones, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just from my like professional opinion. Because it's just you plus your husband, and you only have you have an infant, and you just moved from away from your family out of state. Right. So I'm like, Mrs. Jones, like the ultimate, that's a crazy set. Like it's just massive, has a lot of stuff. Are you going to be entertaining large groups of people often? She's like, no, not really. Are you going to be doing this? I was like, honestly, the homemaker might be a better start for you right now. And then when you have more kids, when you have more people coming over, you make some more friends, then you can always upgrade later. So how about we start with this one, try it out. And if it's still not enough, you can always upgrade. So how do you think that customer felt about me as a person? She felt good, right? She's like, okay, I can trust John. So now guess where it paid off? At the end of the demo. Guess how many people she recommended me to? Like I think it was like 35 of her friends. She was like, John, you've been really helpful. I really appreciate your honesty. I want to tell all my friends about you. And I've sold so much more off of her, like off that friends list versus that one order where I could have taken advantage of a situation. Does that make sense? So be a friend, not a salesperson. Like throughout my career, I've been invited to barbecues, quinceañeras, weddings, birthday parties, because I'm not just like their sales guy. Like I'm their Cutco guy. Like people call me their Cutco guy. Like I sold Cutco where I live, so I would run into customers all the time at the grocery store. So many times I just get customers yelling, Cutco guy, Cutco guy. I'm like, who the hell is yelling that? And then I turn around, they're like, we love our knives. Right? Doesn't that like it's a good feeling, because that could go totally bad, like different direction, right? Like what if I sold them a product that sucked? And they could be like, hey, there's that guy that robbed us, right? That would be like really bad. So we sell a product that we can be proud of. So it's like we're not trying to sell it. We already know it's the best. It's the best in the world. Like you don't even need to compare it to anything. Like it's the best. So just be their friend. They're gonna see the value in it. They're gonna get it. All right. And then ask a lot of questions. The third thing. The third thing is take your time showing all the options. So drop down slowly and enthusiastically. Drop down slowly and enthusiastically. So remember what I taught you guys in training, right? You want to ask for the order on everything that you show them. Like if you show them Cutco, ask them if they want to get it. Even if they already bought something, like, hey, did you want to add this to your order? Right? Like it doesn't make sense to show something and not ask them if they want it. All right. So you want to ask for the order on every step down. Even if your customer has expressed like, hey, I'm not going to buy anything today. No worries, Ms. Jones. I'm just going to show you all of our options. And then at the end we can pick out anything that you want or you don't want. Right. And then you just keep going. Just go on your normal presentation like, hey, here's our essential set. How does this one like could you see yourself using this one a little bit more? And then never skip a set. This is like you never want to skip anything. The reason why is you just don't know what people want. People don't even know what they want. People don't even know what they want. Think about how many times you went into a store wanting to get one thing and you left with 5 and you didn't even get the thing you went there for. Right? So our minds change constantly. And you don't need to write this down. You can if you want, but this is a reminder. Every set, it's better when your customers get a set. Always better when they get a set. Even if they buy 3 pieces, they actually save more money when they get like a small starter set. So something to always like tell them, like seal up the sale and everything. And like, hey, just so you know, like you'd probably get a better deal, like more value if you got a set. Can I show you 2 options real quick and just to see what the best deal is? Because I'm kind of curious what the best deal is, Mrs. Jones, for you to see if it actually saves you more money in the long run. Right? And customers appreciate that because you guys got to remember, you guys are the experts. You guys are in charge. All right. So every set has the right tool for the right job. They're discounted. They come with free stuff. They're safer. Doesn't matter what set your customers get. Help them by getting a set just because it's going to be better in the long run. Right. And I always tell customers, like when they buy pieces, I'm like, yeah, you can totally get those 2 or 3 pieces, but you're going to call me again in a few months because you're going to realize you need this, this, and this. So if I can give you a better deal today, would you be more interested in the set to save yourself some time, money, and energy later on? Have your customers write down all the prices as you're going throughout the presentation. So this way they can compare. This way they can compare. Because we always compare when we shop. That's why they have a menu up there. The restaurants, like when you go into like a restaurant where you order from a menu, because you're always comparing, you're like, do I want this or do I want this? This is a little bit more expensive, but I get a lot more. This is cheaper, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be filling. Right? We're always comparing. So make sure they're writing down the prices so this way they can compare and contrast all the different options. And then you as the rep, you always want to focus on the 5-pay. You always want to focus on the 5-pay. So versus $13.26 for the homemaker set, like Ms. Jones, it's only gonna be $289 today. And I want you guys to realize like $289, that's nothing. Now that I'm an adult, I get it. I remember like even when I was selling Cutco, I used to say $289 wasn't a lot, but for me as a college student, I'm like, that's actually a lot of money. But now that I'm an adult with adult expenses, $289 is less than my health insurance every month. Right? And I don't even I don't even use health insurance. $289 is like how much I pay for my internet. Right? You just throw it on a card, you forget about it. Now, it's only for 5 months. Like most of the things that people buy in their house, they do some type of payment plan, and usually there's interest. We have no interest. There's no credit checks, no nothing. It's a courtesy that the company provides so more people can get the things that they want. So it's only 5 months. Like when you buy a refrigerator, you're locked into that payment for like 24 months. So 5 months, pay it off, they're done, and they're all set. Buy once, use it every single day, never have to replace it. and then ask them to cross out the larger prices as you're dropping down. Again, we start here at the homemaker. If the homemaker was like too small, or like they bought that way too easy, go up, show them the signature and the ultimate options. All right. The homemaker was like perfect, but just, I don't know, not like they weren't super sold on the price today. Call me. All right. So that's why I like to have you guys call me here. And usually I'll ask you a question like, hey, what they think about the homemaker? If you say like, oh, they actually love it. And I'll probably say like, okay, so are they going to get the homemaker? And you say like, no, probably not. Okay, cool. Let me show you this discount we can do. And then show them that. Abby G, I'll use you as an example, right? Like she was doing an appointment with her dad. Her dad already had Cutco, but he was thinking about upgrading. Gave him like a price. It was like a pretty like big price, like when you put the upgrade together. Abby calls me back. I'm like, hey, we can actually do this. Took off $200 off the price. Just from her calling me. That's why I want you guys to call me. Like I want to make sure your customers are getting what they want for the best deal possible. Because he almost wasn't going to do it, right, Abby? He was just going to get the couple pieces he needed to replace. But really, he wanted to upgrade, right? That was the main goal. And since we were able to give him a discount, he got it. So that's why I want you guys to call me. All right. Like I've done this so many times where, I mean, as you guys can tell, I know like all the psychology and all that stuff with it. Right. So call me so I can help the customers get exactly what they want, not just buy something that they're settling with today and they're like, I'll get it later. Because ultimately they're not going to be happy in the long run. Right. Like in a couple months when they're like, oh crap, I wish I had a bigger knife or XYZ. So drop down slowly, enthusiastically, take your time, show them all the options. Don't rush it. All right. Don't rush any parts of your appointments. Even if your customer is saying like, hey, we need to be done in 15 minutes. Okay. Just take your time. Just do it normal. Don't speed up your words or anything like that. Okay. All right. The fourth thing is handle the customer's questions. If a customer has a lot of questions, that means they're interested. Review the questions on page 9. So review the questions on page 9. Most customers won't say yes right away. All right, you don't need to write this down. Most customers won't say yes right away. They're going to need some type of question or concern handled first. So if you can tell your customer likes the homemaker, but they say like they can't get it because of this, this, and this, like really try to listen and see what they're really trying to say. All right, most customers might have some questions or concern that needs to be handled. So that's why in the manual it says, hey, if you don't mind me asking, what was it about the homemaker you're unsure of? And then listen and listen. Now, if you can't find the response right there, like, okay, hold on one second. I'm just gonna call my manager, ask him a quick question. And then you can even say, you can like Elizabeth, you can stop your demo and just like, hey John, my customer said this, like mute them, of course. Like my customer said this. How would you handle it, or what should I respond back? And then I'll tell you what I would do. If it works, cool. If not, just drop down. Okay. So I'm going to bring Drew Frank back up here, and he's going to explain how to handle objections a little bit better. All right. So he's going to talk to you guys about handling objections. And again, when I play his videos, treat it like it's training. Still give him your full engagement. Write down notes. If he says, write this down, write it down. And then, and this is a good video. You guys will learn a lot. I learned from this video when I was a newer rep, and it helped out a lot. Okay. I lied. All right. There we go.
All right, can I teach you the most mind-blowing unbelievable sales skill that you'll ever learn in your life?
Yeah.
All right, now here's the deal. This is going to change you forever. I'm going to teach you how to get whatever you want, whenever you want, from whoever you want for the rest of your life. You want to learn this?
Yes.
No, this is going to improve your dating life. This is going to improve every area of your life, your relationships with your friends, your family, your parents. You're going to be able to get free food. You guys want to learn how to get free food? You want to learn how to get upgraded on flights to first class? Okay. You want to get out of speeding tickets? Okay. I'm going to teach you how to get whatever you want, whenever you want, from whoever you want for the rest of your life. Has anybody ever been in an argument before? Okay, when you're in an argument and you're on one side and somebody else is on the other side, whether it's an angry argument or a friendly argument, when you think one thing, somebody else thinks something else, what comes up in between you? A wall. The shield comes up. Is it possible to have a good conversation when that shield is up? No. When you're in that conversation and you're arguing with mom, and you're saying one thing, she's saying something else, you're not even thinking about, you're not even listening to her. You're just thinking about the next thing that you want to say. Would you agree? When you're in an argument, you don't even care what they say. Now, eventually, we start arguing for our sanity. We don't even want them to agree with us. We just want them to understand that we're not crazy, right? That's what happens in an argument, and it's very, very important to understand you've got to bring the wall down. So there are 4 parts of the objection cycle. I'm going to teach you how to get anything you want from whoever you want for the rest of your life, whenever. And this is going to change your life forever. 10 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, that knife job was cool, but that objection cycle was freaking money. All right, 4 steps. Number 1 step is to agree. Now, you don't agree with what they say because what they say is ridiculous. That's why you're arguing in the first place. That's why you're on the opposite side of the opinion. So you agree. You don't agree with what they say. You agree with how they feel. Mrs. Jones, I completely understand why you feel that way. If I were in your position, I'd feel the same way too. What immediately comes down? The shield, the wall comes down. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, hey, I totally understand how you feel that way. If I were in your position, I would feel that way too. Wall comes down. You know what she's saying or what he's saying? He gets me. He understands me. The shield comes down. And then you can go in for the kill. Okay, no, you can go in and you can ask for the order and get what you need, right? So step number 1 is agree with how they feel, not what they say, but how they feel. I totally understand how you what. If I were in your position, I'd what? Feel the same way too. Step number 2 is however. You just say the word however. Step number 3 is tell the truth or give an alternate opinion or option. Tell the truth, give an alternate opinion or option, be totally upfront, 100% honest. And number 4 is close again, ask for the order. Smile and nod your head. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're 7 years old, you want to go to the pool, and mom doesn't let you go to the pool because your room is a mess. Okay? This is a 7-year-old using the objection cycle. Mom, I totally understand why you don't want me to go to the pool. My room is a mess. It's been a mess for 7 years. I get it. If I were in your position, I wouldn't let me to go to the pool either. What comes down? The wall comes down. However, I was really excited about going to the pool today. Johnny's already over at the pool doing backflips. I got my swimmies on, got my sunscreen on, got my trunks on. I was pumped to go to the pool. If you let me go to the pool today, I promise you, for the next 3 weeks, my room will be spotless, or else no pool for the rest of the summer. How does that sound? Mom can't argue with that. Okay, you ever turn in a paper late in school? Okay, you turn in a paper late, you get a letter grade off. Okay, here's what you do. Teacher, professor, I totally understand why you took a letter grade off. I turned in my paper late. If I were in your position, I would have done the same thing too. What comes down? The wall comes down. However, because it was a really busy week. I was really stressed, had like 8 exams. I only have 4 classes. I don't even know if that's possible or legal, but it's been a really, really stressful week. The reason why I turned in your paper late was because I wanted to make sure I did a good job on it. If I turned it on time, it would have been, a half you-know-what job. I wouldn't have gotten any value out of doing the assignment. So I took a little bit of extra time. I really got a lot of value out of it. I learned a lot from the assignment, and that's why I took the extra time. If you let me go with giving me a full letter grade and not taking the letter grade off, I promise I'll make your class a priority in the future, and I'll make sure that your papers are turned in on time from this point on. How does that sound? Yeah, and they're going to, they do care because they're there for your future. All right, you smile and nod, you close, you ask for the order. How about you guys want to get out of a ticket? I want to learn how, you have a question on that?
I was going to ask how you get that first class, actually.
What's that?
How you get first class, yeah.
Oh, first class? Okay, you guys want to get a ticket for first class tickets? All right, here's the upgrade. All right, so here's the thing. The person at the ticket counter at the at the airport, what happens to her all day long? People do what to her? Yell at her, give her a hard time. They're like just really, really mean people, right? So here's the thing. This is how you get free stuff: free food, free first class flights, anything you want. So everyone's giving her a hard time. So let's say Seth is the ticket agent. Hey, Seth, I totally understand if you can't do anything. And if I were in your position, I don't know if I'd be able to do anything either. What comes down? Because all right, they're like, I can do whatever I want. I'm the ticket agent. Okay. I totally get it if you can't do anything. But I know all these people have been yelling at you, and it's not your fault. I don't think they get it that you don't book the flight. So these people are nuts. They're crazy. So I get it, and if I were in your position, I'd feel the same way too. So I totally get it. Now here's the thing: I'm on this flight, and I have a really good feeling I'm gonna be stuck behind somebody like really smelly and nasty, and I'm really excited about this trip. And I don't know if there's anything you do, but if there's a seat that opens up in first class, and it's open, and nobody else can take it, if there's any way that you can bump me up, it would make my day. It would make my year. It would be, of course. Okay, so it's the objection cycle. You bring the wall down. Nice job. You bring the wall down, and then you ask for the order. You guys want to get out of a speeding ticket? Okay, don't speed. I'm not condoning speeding, but if you want to get out of a ticket, here's what happens. Police officer pulls you over. What's the first question they ask? Do you know why I what? Pulled you over. That license registration, I get it. But do you know why I pulled you over? Most people, they play dumb. This thing must be broken. No, you're an idiot. You were speeding. Of course they pulled you over because you're speeding. They have a radar gun. It works, okay? If you get pulled over for speeding, don't play dumb like 95% of the morons out there. They pull you over. Do you know why you were? Do you know why I pulled you over? Yes, officer, I completely understand why you pulled me over. If I were in your position, I would have pulled me over too. I was going way too fast. What comes down? Wall comes down. Okay. By the way, since I was 18, I've been pulled over a couple times. Since I was 18, I've only gotten one ticket since I was 18. So if I were in your position, I would have pulled me over too. I was going way too fast. I was going 47 and a 35. I was going 12 miles over the speed limit, way too fast. I totally get it. If I were you, I'd pull me over also. However, the reason why I was going a little bit too fast is because I was on my way to one of my appointments for my brand new job. I just started working with Cutco. Have you heard of Cutco before? Okay. Anyway, I just started a brand new job, and I was really trying to impress my manager. I'm nervous. I'm freaking out. I haven't had a legitimate job before aside from mowing lawns, and I was really freaking out. I wanted to make a good impression, and that's why I was a little bit heavy on the gas pedal. I promise you, if you let me go this time with a warning and not a ticket, I will never speed on your road ever again. How does that sound? Smile and nod. Why? Your road, confidence boost. Don't try to get pulled over just to get out of it. But if you do get pulled over, you'll get out of it. You guys like that? All right. Vinay, what is it about the homemaker? Guys, hey, let's transition here. Vinay, what is it about the homemaker you're unsure of?
Too many pieces.
It's too many pieces. Hey, Vinay, I completely understand. At first, 10 pieces feels like what? However, most of our customers find that over a lifetime, they will use all those pieces. It's always better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So what most of our customers do is they try out the homemaker, and after 15 days, if there's a piece or a few pieces you're still not sure of, you can send them back and get refunded for just those pieces. How does that sound? I completely understand why you feel like you need to talk to your husband. Okay, 10 to 11:39 is a lot of money to be impulsive, and I wouldn't want him to get it if he wasn't interested too. So what most of our customers do is they take advantage of the 15-day trial. That way he can try it out too. If you love it, and if he loves it, you can continue the payments. If not, you can send it back and get a full refund. You can both try out the homemaker today for only $249. How does that sound? Does that make sense? So what you're doing is you're agreeing, right? If somebody says it's too many pieces, you're not like, no, it's not. It's too much money. No, it's not. It's cheap. Hey, Ms. Jones, of course. $11.39. It's a lot of money to be impulsive with. It's a lot of money all at once. That's why most of our customers take advantage of the 5-pay investment option. That way you don't pay it all off. You don't pay it all for it right now. It's only $249 a month. You won't pay it all off until almost 5 months from now. So you can try it out for only $249. How does that sound, right? So again, do you have to nail it exactly perfectly word for word? No, but you have to be confident. You have to agree. However, give an alternate opinion or option, and then close again, smile and nod. Now, where are all those objections? On page 9, right? And the one that I just did with Vinay with the too many pieces, exactly word for word. And here's the thing, if you screw it up a little bit like I did, that's fine, but it still sounds good. You're still following the objection cycle. Agree, however, alternate opinion or option, and then close again. Yes, sir.
For this one, it's more important to have like the eye contact rather than you.
Yeah, for these ones, I would try to get these down as best as you can, because eye contact with that is pretty important. We like that? Do we get the importance of that? All right. And here's the thing, you can't screw up. You can't mess up. And if you try to handle objection, you sound like a goofball, who cares? Because they were going to say no anyway. So the worst thing that can happen is they still say no. Okay, move on and drop down. But at least try, at least ask for the order, and then it gives you an opportunity to sell the sets. All right. Do you guys like that though with the objection cycle? Who's going to try it out on their girlfriend or boyfriend or mom and dad? Okay. Good. Try it out on your friends. Don't teach them the objection cycle though, because then you can't use it on them, because then they're gonna be like, "Don't objection cycle me." You guys want to, guys? You want to never see a chick flick ever again?
Yes.
Hey, I totally understand why you want to see A Walk to Remember. I heard it was a great movie too, and if I were in your shoes, I'd want to see that movie also. I heard it was awesome. However, Spider-Man 3 just came out. It got like 6 thumbs up. It's supposed to be the best movie, and I don't even know if that's possible, but it happened. If we see Spider-Man 3 tonight, I promise you, for the next 2 times that we go out, we'll see the movie that you want to see. How does that sound?
I'm gonna end up in a chicken.
Nope, because you do the same thing every time. Master the fundamentals. She's not going to catch it. Then just do one and done. Don't go on a second date. All right. I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's the objection cycle. That's how you get whatever you want, whenever you want for the rest of your life. Okay. How about this, ladies? You guys want to go to a better restaurant instead of a stupid place that the guy wants to take you? Okay. So, ladies, when you have when the guy asks you on a date, and you say, and he says, "Hey, can I take you out?" Okay, then you use the objection cycle. Okay, I totally understand why you want to take me out. If I were in your shoes, I'd want to take me out too. However, the last time you tried to take me out, you brought me to a super fancy restaurant where you like carried my tray. Okay. Now, if you want to take me out this time, I'm okay with it. However, you have to take me out to either the nicest Italian restaurant in town or take me to the Capitol Grill. Which one is better for you? Smile and nod. You guys like that? All right. Then you're controlling the situation.
All right, cool. Did you guys learn a thing or two right there? All right, cool. So don't abuse your power. All right. The fifth thing, you want to make deals with your customers. Doesn't everybody like a good deal? Yeah, we all like to bargain shop and get the best bang for our buck. So I'm going to share something with you guys. I'm going to share. So here's the first thing I want you guys to write down before I share what I'm going to share is to get deals, you got to call me. All right, you got to call me until you know how to make your own deals and all those things like that. All right, I'm going to give you the best deal for both you and the customer. I love doing win-win deals, right? You win because you made the sale and it might be a little bit bigger. The customer wins because they get everything that they want for a better value, for like a bundle. All right, so call the office for the best deals. You don't need to write down this advanced bonus points or the secret weapon, but I'm going to teach you guys the secret weapon right now. So this secret weapon is also known as our trade-in special. All right, the secret weapon is also known as the trade-in special. Let me find it and I'll just pull it up. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Oops. All right, so this is the secret weapon. Now, this special, don't call it the secret weapon to your customers. Like, all right, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to pull out the secret weapon. Don't do that. All right, we call this our friends and family discount. So that some of you guys might know some of these prices because I used them with you. You guys did the right thing, called in, got a better deal on a set, and we gave the secret weapon. All right. Some of you guys are gonna be mad that I didn't tell you this earlier. I didn't show you this secret weapon paper earlier. I'm sorry. All right. So our secret weapon is a special deal or is a special deal or a trade-in special. It's a program where you offer the customer a great discount, but no free stuff for trading in some of their old knives. They can also get the same deal. You get to choose how to present it. So when we used to do in-home presentations, that's why it's called the trade. We used to call it the trade-in special. Customers would trade in their old junky set of knives. You would take them and then we would give them a discount on their new set of knives. All right, now the customer, you use this when the customer says like, oh, I love this set, but it's too expensive or it's too much money, or I already spent a good amount of money on knives, or I already own like Henckels or Wusthof. Here's when you want to use this. So here's kind of like the verbiage that you're going to use. So you like it, but you just feel like the price is too high, and your customer is going to say yes. Okay, well, Mrs. Jones, we do have the special deal, or the special that I think you're really gonna like. All right, now this is where you guys get to choose how to present it. Okay, like what I mean by choose how to present it, you're gonna be like, all right, well, Grandma, is it okay if I call you Grandma? All right, Grandma, you are one of my favorites. I love you. You've done a lot for me. So here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna give you the best deal I can give you on this set. Are you down with that? We'll call this the Grandma special. Right. And then you have her write down a couple things. All right. So we're going to look at the Homemaker +8 trade-in. Where is it? All right. Right here. So we're going to look at the Homemaker +8 set. So the normal price, retail price of the Homemaker set is $13.26. We're going to take off $234 off of the Homemaker +8 set. So you want to have your customers write down like, all right, Miss Jones, I'm going to discount the Homemaker set. The retail price, you remember it was $13.26. I had you write that down. Go ahead and cross out that price. Here's the new price for the Homemaker +8, $10.92. So you're saving $234, and you only have to pay $234 today instead of $289. How does that sound? And then they're going to be like, oh, wow. Okay. And then most people will jump on that, right? Because it's a discount. All right. So that's how you do it. Now here's how you guys input this into your Cutco Orders app. All right. You're going to go down to the B block sets. All right. So in your shop, if you go all the way down, you're going to have a section that says B block sets. So what it is a basic Homemaker set in the +8 block. So there's no table knives included, but it has the +8, the slots for the table knives. And then you're going to go into your search bar, search the table knives, and you're going to add 2 sets of table knives into the cart. You're going to charge the customer for 1 of the table knives, and then you're going to give her the other 7 for free. Does that make sense to everybody? So you go B block, Homemaker, charge her for 1 table knife, and then you bonus the other 7. Now, this is how we do the discounts. What we're doing is we're taking items from inside the set, we're bonusing those for free, which brings down the price. So this is why we can't give free stuff and a discount. All right, we only could do one or the other. So normally we would have gave her like a free entertainer pack or super shears. Instead, we're just giving her free table knives. You don't tell them what you're doing because all they care about is how much they're saving off the price. All right, so when you input this in, that's how you input that in. So it's pretty simple with all the sets with table knives. All right, Ultimate set, we have it on here for all the sets with the table knives. All right, now let's look at the basic Homemaker. So the basic Homemaker doesn't have table knives. So what we'll do with the basic Homemaker, you'll add the basic Homemaker to the cart. So you'll add it to the cart. And then if you click on those 3 circles, you'll see an option that says set breakdown. And it's going to list out every piece in that Homemaker set individually. And then from there, you're just going to bonus anything that has a check mark next to it. So you guys see it says the Petite Carver right here has a check mark. So you'll just go ahead and bonus that, and then the slicer. So with the basic homemaker, the retail price is $10.49. We can take off $134, which brings it down to $9.15, and it's only going to be $196 per month. Isn't that a great deal? Now they can get a homemaker set for under $1,000. I think that's like a fantastic value right there. And then that's how it works with all the sets without the table knives. All right. Now you guys can call this special whatever special you would like. I give you guys permission for that. So let's say it's your birthday week or your birthday month. You can say, hey, Mrs. Jones, this is my Elizabeth's birthday deal. All right, it's my birthday this week, and I feel like giving the best deals I can. So here's what I can do for you, right? Hey, this is the New Year's special. We're going into a new year. 2020 sucked, but I'm going to make your 2020 right, Mrs. Jones. Here's my special I'm giving for you, right? And the cornier, the better, right? Customers love corny things. By the way, side little note that just popped into my head. Come up with your best dad jokes. Like those are great icebreakers for customers. Right? Like be as corny as possible. It just find like the worst bad joke that is so bad that they have to laugh at it. Right? Like it makes, and your customers, they're moms and dads, so they like die laughing. It's great. All right, cool. So that's the secret weapon. How do you guys like that? Any questions on this secret weapon paper? Okay. So reminder, you can't give anything for free if we use the discount. All right, so it's either free stuff or the discount. We just can't do both. All right, cool. So now let me update your drop down for you guys. So when we drop down now, you want to do the homemaker at first. You offer the free items. If that wasn't good, they're like, I like it, I don't know. Always show them the discount, right? Like, hey, I can actually bring this down this amount. How does that sound for you? All right, so now you guys have this. So what I do with like those documents, I just save them into my books, my iBooks on your phone, so that way you can just access them super quick without having to like look for it in the group chat. Also, side little note, if you guys didn't figure this out already, anything that I post in like those group chats that you find valuable that you want to save for later, if you hold down the message, you can star it and it'll save it in like your starred messages for that group chat. So that way it doesn't like, as like we chat more and more, you don't lose it or you're trying to scroll for like 2 weeks, right? So you can just star it. All right, so you want to offer it at first, retail price with the free stuff, then you offer it with the discount. Now, when we do the discounts, you do make a little bit less when we give the discounts because there's less things that they're paying for, right? So there's going to be like a little adjustment right there. All right, so retail price is always the best. Like it's always better. You can give customers more in free stuff versus a discount. Okay, does that make sense? Right, so we can always, it's always better to do the free stuff versus the discount. All right, so like free stuff first, then drop down to the discount, drop down again, free stuff, discount, so on and so forth. Okay. All right, cool. So we're starting to wrap up here. So let's kind of review the schedule for the week. All right, I know the first week there's a lot going on, right? You went through 2 days of training. Some of you guys might have interviewed like the week that you started, right? So 2 days of training, then right now we're in advanced training, and then in 2 days we have our team meeting, and then there's Christmas, and then your fast start's like coming towards the end, right? So it can feel like a lot at first. So don't worry if you feel like a little overwhelmed. You're like, man, John, there's always something, right? Your first week is like the busiest week. All right, then after that, things are going to start to like slow down as far as like events that you guys need to attend for me. All right, the main time I'm going to want to see you guys is on Wednesday for our team meeting. All right, so write that down. If you don't have it already, just write it down again for good memory. 5:30 to 7:30 on Wednesdays. Now, if you have something that conflicts with that time, always communicate to me in advance. Okay, I feel like I'm a pretty cool manager. Like I'm very understanding as long as you respect my time and communicate properly. Here's one thing, my biggest pet peeve that I can't stand is when somebody messages me like an hour, 10 minutes before like something and like, John, I can't make it. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. Please communicate properly, right? Like respect my time. I respect your time. That's how a great relationship works. So with communications, like if you know you're not going to be able to make it to something, try to communicate that at least a day in advance. All right, try to communicate that at least a day in advance. Just because, like I said, we're trying to build a championship organization, right? So I have to have standards. And if I like let you, so I don't want to have an awkward conversation where it's like, no, you can't miss. I can't let you bail out 10 minutes before because guess what? If I let you do that, guess what I have to do for everybody else? I got to do the same thing, right? Because I will try to play fair, right? I want to run a fair organization, and then if I let everybody do that, then we run a sloppy organization, and then standards start to decrease, and then nobody's happy, right? So I don't want to have that awkward conversation and say like you can't go to your grandma's birthday because you're committed to the team meeting, right? Like this is the only event I ask you to attend, so I expect you to be here. Better is like, hey, the day before, and most of you guys don't like know about things. You don't know about it until like 10 minutes before. I don't think so, right? So you should know day in advance, like if it's grandma's birthday dinner tomorrow, right? So just let me know. I want you to go to your grandma's birthday dinner, but I also want you to be a professional. Can everybody respect that? Okay, cool. So it's like, hey, John, my grandma's birthday is like right at the time of the team meeting. Is it okay if I attend that? Right. And and again, you don't need to ask me permission to attend your grandma's birthday. It's just about the professional aspect of it. Right. I'm like, yeah, of course. Thank you for communicating ahead of time. Go have fun at your grandma's birthday. Let me know how it goes. I'll catch you up the next day. Boom. All right. So let's just make sure we communicate properly. All right. So I'm actually going to have you guys ignore those times. So ignore everything that's up here because I want to fill it in with our times because I share slides with Evan with our division. But advanced training number 2, this is going to be on Wednesday from 5 to 5:30. So I guess it's the same time. So it's 5 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'm just going to have you guys hop on 30 minutes before we start the team meeting. And I'm going to teach you guys some phone skills and just kind of how to plan your schedule a little bit better. Advanced training number 3, I'm actually going to just send you guys a video. All right. So you guys can watch that on your own time, but just watch it on Friday. That's going to be on recommendations. And by the way, PS, make sure you guys are not calling your recommendations yet. I don't want anybody calling recommendations until you've watched that video on Friday. All right. That's really important. So don't watch any recommendations. Right now, just focus on appointments with family, friends, all those stuff, because I want you guys getting experience, getting really good at what you're doing, and being able to do a solid demo. All right, team meeting is 5:30 to 7:30, not 5 to 8. So 5:30 to 7:30 for our office. And then on Sunday we do a paycheck and schedule meeting at 6 p.m. So those don't always go until 7:30. It's more so like a quick check-in for the week, just to make sure everyone's paycheck stuff is all together, dialed in. And then sometimes I have like a couple little tips. We do a phone jam, and then you're good to go once you hit your goal. All right. So those things are 6 p.m. At the latest, it will go. It's like 7:30, but give me a thumbs up if you guys are good off of this page. Okay, cool. And if you didn't get everything, just ask me or post it in the chat box. All right. Now with your schedule, plug in all your activities first. Like anything that's like urgent, like school, practice, so on and so forth, religious activities, another job. Then you want to break down your goals. So when you guys are breaking down your goals for your first full week, think about how much you want to sell. Like if you're going for 10K, you just need to go all out. All right. Try to average like 4 appointments per day for 10K. So 4 demos a day equals 10K. But 7 demos usually equals about $1,000 sold. Look at how far you have to go from 10K. Like if you have 8,000 to go, then we can break down that goal that way. And then plug in when you're going to make your phone calls. All right. And just get in a habit. Do one, book one. Do one, book one. Every time you do a demo, book a demo. And then something else I want you guys to be thinking about is expanding your practice list. So continue expanding your practice list. You remember when I was talking about your chicken list? Don't be a chicken. All right, Isaac, don't be a chicken. All right, call those people that you're nervous to call, people you haven't talked to in a while, because sticking with your initial list is going to help you with increase your confidence, more practice, more repetition, more referrals. Those are all positive things. That's why I want you guys to stick with your initial list as long as possible. So that way, when you go into recommendations, you're confident, you have all the repetition, you're skilled, and you have a lot of referrals. You have a lot of recommendations to start learning with. Wait on calling recommendations, because calling your recommendations too soon is like diving into 10 inches of water head first. If you dive into 10 inches of water head first, you're going to die. I don't want anybody to die. I want you guys diving into 10 feet of water, right? Yes, you might have 30 recommendations right now, but it's like, what if you had 130? That's better, right? So wait until you have 100, 200, so on and so forth, like that. All right. So your chicken list, those are the people that you know you could call, but you're afraid to for whatever reason. Starting with Cutco is similar to driving like a stick shift car. You don't need to write this down, just listen. Like first gear is like that immediate family, like the people in your family that you talk to all the time. Second gear is the people that you know well, right? That might be like more of distant family. You know them, but you don't really talk to them. Family, friends, parents. Third gear is your acquaintances, and then your chicken list. Most of you guys should still be in first, second gear right now. All right. But then probably by the team meeting, some of you guys are going to be right here, acquaintances, chicken list. And then fourth gear, that should be like towards the very, very back end of your fast start contest. Some of you guys might not even reach that in your fast start contest because you have enough on your initial list. Okay. So let's reorganize. Everyone pull out your Q app real quick. And let's go to your contacts. And I want you guys to start queuing up your next 10 people that you want to schedule. So your next 10 that you haven't done a demo or you haven't scheduled yet, or you haven't reached. Maybe you've called them, but they didn't answer, or you haven't heard from them yet. Who are those next 10? So think about your top 5. Have you seen all those people first? If they're in your top 5 and you haven't seen them, they should be at the top. Then think of your next best 5, and then your next best 5. So go to your contacts, go ahead and number them 1 through 10, who your next ones are going to be. Now the focus between now and the team meeting at 5 p.m. on Wednesday is to make sure you book appointments with your next best 5. All right. Some of you guys have only seen your best 5 this weekend, so you still haven't even hit your top 10 yet. Focus on those next best 5s. Those of you guys that have already done your first 10, who are your next best 5? So that is like the focus right now, is making sure we finish today strong. So everything, this is why I wanted you guys to have appointments after advanced training, because this is like the last day to impact your paycheck, your first paycheck for the week. And then we want to start Tuesday and Wednesday strong. Those are the first 2 days of our new week. All right, we want to start those strong. So if you have nothing going on tomorrow, like I would try to do 4 appointments, 3 to 4 appointments on Tuesday. Right? Because imagine like being at $1,000, $2,000 in sales the first day of the week. So remember when I was showing you guys like reps sales for the week? That's a big reason why they have big weeks. They have a really strong Tuesday. All right. And then some resources to get some more names. Talk to your parents. Right? Have you had time to express what you want to gain out of this job with your parents? Right? Have you told them like, hey, I think I could do something really great. Hey, Mom, I don't know if you know this. I got 5 orders my first weekend. Imagine if I saw more people. Do you think it could help me out? Think about school. Who are some people that you went to school with? So like friends that could help you out. One thing I did with all my friends was I was like, hey, if your parents buy something from me, like if you let me practice with your parents and they buy something, I'll buy you a burger. Because I was a football player, so my friends just like to eat food, right? They're like, oh, heck yeah, bro. What if I get 5 people to buy from you? Is that 5 burgers? I'm like, yeah, bro. Right? And then yeah. So like people that you went to school with. Hey, what about people from your church? Who in your church would be nice enough to help you out? Sports teams, social media, your neighborhood, directories. Who attended your graduation party from high school? Those are all really great people for you to see and practice with. Okay. Everyone look live real quick. So I want to show you another cool thing for Q. So I'm sure everybody figured this one out. To add more contacts into your queue, you can go right there. Now your active contacts, there's like a little, all right, if you guys see up the top, if you go to your contacts, you'll see where it says active contacts. And if you click on this, there's a little drop down bar. So if you're wondering, like, I had somebody on this list, but I don't see them anymore. Maybe you like might have called them. So it will move it into a different list on there. So that's where you guys can find any names that like you kind of got lost on your queue. All right, now you guys will also have a brainstorm list. So that's where all your friends went. So you know when we categorize your queue, where it was like potential customers, friends, and neither. So everyone that you put in the friends category, they went to your brainstorm list. So if you go to your brainstorm list, you'll see all your friends, and there's a little message box next to them. The friends that you think that could help you out or that you want to get some help from, you can send them this quick little message right here. So it already plugs it in for you automatically through Q. It just says, hey, I just got a new job, and for training, I need to do some practice appointments so I can get some experience. What is your mom's number so I can reach out and see if she will let me practice with her? And then you can just send it like that. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, cool. The last thing I just wanted to highlight really quick, I believe I went over this with like some of you guys, your system managers might have gone over it with you. Some of you guys might have not heard of this yet. I went over it a little bit in training, but becoming a team builder. So this is kind of like how we love to build our team. We love working with friends from reps that are on our team. And you'll kind of see this culture, like there's always like friends, like recommending friends. And that's how a lot of you guys got here. And I appreciate your friends for recommending you, because I would have never got a chance to meet Abby, right? If it wasn't for Michaela, right? I would have never got a chance to meet Elizabeth if it wasn't for Ethan, and Isaac if it wasn't for Jacob, right? So like I'm super thankful of your friends for recommending you guys, and then now you guys are here and you guys recommended some friends. So becoming a team builder, you have a chance to win prizes. I'm going to recognize all my team builders at the team meetings. It's some great resume experience being able to say that you're able to attract this amount of people to a certain job. It also helps out with some advancement opportunities in the future. And then also I want to remind you guys this: every friend that shows up to the interview and they do well in their interview and we decide to hire them, that gets you $1,000 fast start bonus. $1,000 fast start bump. Okay, so let's say you're at 5,000 for your fast start contest. You're gonna actually win, and you have one friend start. You're actually gonna win $6,000 worth of fast start prizes. All right, now this fast start credit only goes up to the $8,000 level, because at 10,000, like the region sponsors like the VIP night, as well as like the Cabo trip. Those are like regional prizes, but your Cutco prizes, like I personally purchase those for you guys. And the reason why I buy you guys Cutco is because it's going to help you with your confidence in the job, confidence in the product, and it's just freaking awesome. Can you guys tell that I love Cutco? Yeah, it's the best product ever, right? So I want you guys to be able to experience that as well. And it's going to help you sell more Cutco, of course. All right, so our next training is next Monday. All right, so next Monday we're running training. So that's why you want to try to help your friends like come in for interviews. Some of you guys might have had some friends like texting you like, hey, what is this, or what should I expect, and asking for tips. Just make them feel comfortable about coming in. Hopefully, I think everyone trusts me. All right, hopefully you trust me, Isaac. All right, that's good to know. Wasn't sure about Isaac. Isaac was like, man, I'm gonna take this guy out. No, but so yeah, you guys know the process. You guys already kind of went through it. So just make them feel comfortable. Let them know my managers will help you out and answer any questions. But don't spend too much time trying to reply to those messages. I want you guys really focus on your fast start contest and doing more demos. The more demos you guys do, more chances you have to sell, more chances you have to sell, faster you hit promotions, faster you get to your 10K fast start goal. All right, now when you guys have friends that start, of course I'm going to hook you up. All right, for you guys helping me build a team, right? Like it costs me thousands to advertise, so I don't want to pay those other companies. That's why I like this culture, because I get to help you guys out. I don't want you guys spending your hard-earned money on stupid stuff. Let's use the company money to do that. Okay, so when you get your first two friends, $25 DoorDash gift card. 3 friends gets you the regional team builder scholarship. 4 friends gets you $100 shopping spree or a prize, or the homemaker completion set. 6 friends, you get an $800 gourmet set or a $200 shopping spree. And then 8 friends gets you to Mexico, to the Cabo trip, Cabo San Lucas. Look it up if you haven't yet. It is magical. All right. So that's the team builder prizes. Now, if there's like a friend that you didn't recommend, or somebody that you really want to get like special like one-on-one attention from me, right? Because like I just have like my assistants, they message your friends, so thank them, don't thank me. They're the ones that are actually building the team and working really hard in that aspect. But if there's somebody that you want to talk to me specifically, right? I know there's some of you guys, like I specifically talked to you and scheduled you for your interview. Just set up a 3-way text with me. Or if you ever have a friend that's like is like saying, hey John, like, or hey so and so, like I can't find a job anywhere, hey, I can connect you with my manager. You guys can always do that, and just set up a 3-way text, just like, hey John, this is my friend Billy. He's kind of interested in the job, can you give him more details? Or you have a friend that have lots of questions. Hey, I just started, just blame it because you're new. Like, hey, I'm brand new, I actually don't know everything yet, let me connect you with my manager. All right, you guys can always do that in the 3-way text. So not on WhatsApp, in my personal text, you guys can go to do that. Okay. All right, cool. So I got some quick assignments for you guys. First assignment, update your Q app on Tuesday. Get your power hour in. So update your queue. The second one is continue adding to your queue, mission 100. The third one is complete 5 appointments before Wednesday's team meeting at 5 p.m. I know it says 6 on there, but at 5 p.m. And I'm excited for you guys to meet our team. Our team's awesome. Like we like to have a lot of fun, family atmosphere. And I'm going to introduce you guys. All right. So not like a crazy introduction, but I'm just going to be like, hey guys, I want everybody to meet Linda, Maya, and Abby. They just started. They're working really hard. Like wave to them and something like that. All right. So can't wait for you guys to meet everybody. And then advanced training 3 video on Friday. I don't care necessarily what time you guys watch that video. I just care that you watch it on Friday, and I'll have you guys send me like your takeaways from it. So coaching calls with your manager after your demos. All right. So make sure you guys are sending like a quick little debrief after you guys finish your appointments. So just on WhatsApp, just give me a quick voice memo. Let me know how it went, or call us. All right. Now, if you're not on my team, send that debrief to your manager. Whether like Linda, I know you're working with Kyle, right? Kyle's awesome. So send your debrief to him. Abby A, I know you're working with Teresa, so you'll send your debrief to her. Communicate with Teresa. Isaac, you're working with me, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, you'll send yours to me. And I think you're going to be, so Jacob wasn't able to be there on Saturday, but you're going to be on Jacob's team, Isaac. All right. So I'll connect you with him today. And then so on and so forth. All right. And then 3-way text your PRs. So when you hear me say PRs, those are your personal recruits. So like your friends that you recommended to the job, all that great stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna post all these assignments into the group chat. All right, I'm gonna post all the assignments into the group chat for you guys. So now we're done with training about 50 minutes early, but we're not done. All right, I said we're going till 1. Here's what I need you guys to do now, and I trust all of you guys, so that I'm not gonna make you guys stay on here to do this because I already know you guys want to work hard and hit your goals. All right. Take some time right now to make a few calls. All right. I just want everybody to focus on booking 2 to 3 appointments right now. All right. Booking 2 to 3 appointments for your schedule. Either maybe it's a same day appointment. Maybe you didn't have any appointments after advanced training. Let's try to get you 1 or 2 more tonight. And if you're already booked up for today, start booking your Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. So your Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention was it's a holiday week. All right. It's a holiday week. There's Christmas coming up. Take advantage of the timing. So just so you guys know, after Christmas is usually the biggest weekend in sales in all companies and most businesses that are open. So like I said, in training, you guys are kind of like your own business. Right? You guys are like your own individual little businesses. You want to make sure you're open. All right. You want to make sure you're open to take advantage of that. All right. So after holidays, biggest sales opportunities, biggest buying, like some of the most purchases for the year, companies profit a lot is this month. All right. You guys are starting at the perfect time. And it's perfect because that's like the last weekend of your fast start. So don't get caught up in the Christmas hangover. Don't get caught up in the Christmas hangover. Even on Christmas Eve, like take advantage of like that morning, afternoon time. You might be able to squeeze in 1 or 2 appointments because most people don't really do Christmas Eve activities until the evening. And just always be ready. All right, always be ready. You might end up doing an appointment on Christmas Day because Christmas Day, it's like, I know with my family, like we open presents in the morning, have breakfast or lunch, and then just kind of be lazy bums the rest of the day. Right. So it's like, if you can squeeze in an appointment, maybe there's a family member from out of town. You're like, hey, do you mind if I practice this with you since we're not doing anything? Cool. Like take advantage of that. All right. So, but I'm not saying like Like, I'm not saying, Maya, you better be working on Christmas. We don't have fun here right now. All right, enjoy your holidays and all that great stuff. But if you don't want to like work on Christmas Eve, Christmas, I totally get it. But just prepare yourself. Like, work hard today, tomorrow, Wednesday is Wednesday. Yeah, today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Like, work hard those days, so that way you feel good about taking that time off. Right? That's how I work. I like to like grind. I'm like, all right, let's get as much stuff done. So this way, on Christmas Eve, when I'm being lazy eating cookies, I feel good. I'm not thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, dang, I could be being productive right now. Cool. All right, so let's crush your phone calls right now. Text me once you're, so everybody, this is for everybody. Message me on WhatsApp as soon as you're done making your calls and let me know how it went. All right. So just send me a little message like, hey, John, I booked up my 3 or I got 2, or hey, John, my phone session sucked. But I'm going to make my next phone session here, so on and so forth. All right. So let's crush it. Thank you guys for being awesome. You guys have been a great training class so far. And let's finish the week strong. Let's have some fun with it. And let me know if you need anything. Okay. All right. Have a great day, guys.